Previously on TJR Music and Media. And again, wow, the more I look at it, the more I realize just how badly this is mangled. This is bad here. Hey everybody, this is TJR with just a quick little update. A couple of weeks ago, I received my copy of the Steven Wilson remix of Thick as a Brick, Half Speed, Master 50th anniversary. Whew, that's a lot. And of course, when I got it, the shrink wrap was on so tight that the packaging was damaged. This was all kind of bent and mangled, and because it's very fragile, it's paper versus heavy cardboard. And also the envelope for the record was all mangled up too inside as well. It was just a plain paper envelope, which means I'm going to put an anti-static sleeve on it. But also the record was warped too. And so a lot of you, first of all, thank you to everybody who said, return it. I really appreciate that. There was no way I wouldn't have returned it one way or the other in the shape that it was in. The only reason I questioned the idea of returning it, and again, remember, when I'm opening it up there on camera, my thinking is all in real time. And I'm thinking from every angle. And one thing I always think of is worst possible scenario. And at the time I was thinking, well, I could return it, but because this packaging is so fragile, and I'll bet you mine wasn't the only one where the shrink wrapping was way too tight. And I thought, chances are, I'm just gonna get another one where it's damaged in some other way. And then I'll have to return that. And then I'll get another one that's probably damaged in some way. And so it was a question of either, well, even though the record was warped, it was still playable. Do I want to just keep it or go through this cycle of return, hoping I get a good one? Or just return it, period. Just give me my money back. And I had a feeling that my option was going to be just return it and ask for your money back. And hopefully you can find it at a local record store and get it there where you can look at it first after you purchase it and then make sure it's all good, or look at it before you purchase it, of course, too. But a lot of you told me that, in fact, yes, your copies that were shipped to you came in perfectly clean with nothing wrong with them. So I was glad to hear that. So, of course, I did return it. They sent me another copy. When I first looked at it and pulled it out, I even was suspected it still might be shrink wrap too tight, but pulled up the shrink wrap, clean as a whistle, no mutilations, nothing wrong with it. The envelope was not mangled up either. The record was fine. You can see I've already put the record in an anti-static sleeve, and I've just put it in the back here. It slides in very nicely here for easy access so that I'm not dealing with the packaging because it is very fragile. There are going to be times when I will want to look at this packaging and as I'm listening, but there are the times I just want to pull out the record. And so I've seen other record collectors and record fans do this. I don't do this all the time, but I do it when I have a record that has packaging that is difficult to get the record out of it from time sometimes. So I'll do that then. But anyways, though, this was nice and clean. And so I really appreciate everybody telling me their experience. I also appreciate everybody helping me with my distant memories from childhood. When I looked at my brother's copy, I had said in the video, my memory was that this had a cardboard cover, but inside it was a newspaper. And thank you to everybody who informed me that, yes, I was correct. That is how it was originally packaged. Not sure why they didn't do that this time, why they went full on newspaper. Maybe they thought it would be aesthetically cool, but from a practical standpoint, it's very hard to take care of. I'll do my best, of course. But now I have a clean copy where the record is fine, and so very happy with that. Some people said, why didn't you go to your local record store in the first place? Right now I've been in kind of a strange space, or at least I was at the time when that was being made available. There were two local record stores that dealt with new records versus just used. And one of them had temporarily closed, was going to reopen, but not until later. They finally have reopened. I did ask them if they had any copies. They said no, they didn't once they reopened. But that was not until after I got my first copy of this. The other one was, how do I explain this? Someone came into their store. They were a very well-stocked store. They dealt with new records, nothing used. and someone offered to buy their entire stock from them. They basically made them a deal they couldn't refuse, so they took it. So they have been, for about a month or so now, almost empty. They'll get some new stuff in, and you can, look at that. Yeah, I actually thought they were closing when I first walked into the store. And then I found out later, no, they're going to restock. They're going to stay open. Just someone made them a deal to buy all of their back stock. And so they took it because it was too good of a deal. Anyways, good for them. But thank you everybody for your comments on that last video. And again, I'm thinking in real time, and that was what was going through my mind. I knew that one way or another I would return it, either for another copy, but I felt like I'd probably just end up going through a cycle of getting more bad copies, or I would just return it and say, give me my money back, and and hope that I would get one later. But glad I got to hear your experiences. Everybody, thank you so much. And I really appreciate it. As always, if you like what I do here, be sure to hit like, hit subscribe, and hit the bell notification icon so you never miss a video. And a big thank you to my patron supporters. Patron supporters receive exclusive weekly videos not available here on the channel. And if you'd like to be a patron supporter, go to patreon.com/TGR the original and get your name in the credits. Everybody, I really appreciate you sticking around till the end here. And we'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.